So hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, April 22nd, 2022, 2023. April 22nd, 2023. And it is 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're here for our live 2-hour sewing chat. I'm going to be working on Boho Heart. I'm going to put this over here temporarily. And I did not get a chance to come in here and clean this workspace up. And I did not get a chance to come in here and sew all the pieces I needed to sew together for my background either. So I'm not sure if we're going to actually finish. And I am not, I'm trying to clean up all of my, see, I start string and crumb piecing as I'm piecing, and I got stuff everywhere. So give me a second to clean this up. I need to oil this machine. Those are pieces that I cut. I'm just putting them that I need to cut. Put them to the side. Anything like that. Don't want to lose it. So I am not organized today. I've had scrap quilting club today, and I couldn't sleep the night before. Mine was just racing. I had gotten about, I'm going to guess and say about 13 hours of sleep the day before. So I had plenty of sleep, and then my body just wouldn't go to sleep, body and mind. All right. So trying to just put some of this stuff up. Cut this phone notifications off. All right. I'm going to still moving stuff around here. I hope my mic don't go out because I did not charge it from Wednesday's live. So I'm hoping that goes okay. I got the iron back there. All right. Next thing I got to do is oil this machine before I forget. So, because if not, it's going to be loud. One thing about Berninas is that they do like a lot of oil, and I'm just going to oil from the top until I have to change my bobbin is when I do a thorough clean, and I just take one of those little micro brushes and just brush out the top. So give me a second here. I normally try to do this before I come. Miss Bernina loves the oil. All right, put that back. I'm gonna cut this bobbin thread that I pulled up so it don't get stuck. And then I'll start reading the chat comments about who's here. All right. Okay. All right. Next thing. I'm gonna have to put this one on the charge. And pull you all up. I hope you all had a great Saturday. It was cold and windy for us today, but at least we had sun shining. It wasn't raining, so that was a good plus. But it felt like we were trying to go back into winter instead of going into spring. Okay. Gotta pull you guys up. All right, I think we're ready to go. Wow. I don't think we're going to sew for a minute. Okay. Go all the way to the top. Kathleen Champs here saying hi to and everyone. Elaine Doucette saying hello all. Have a wonderful time. I got to hit the hay early for a long, wet, windy day. Maddie Barnum is here saying hi to and everyone. Rochelle Sear saying hello everyone. Earth or happy Earth Day to everyone. And I did my thumbs up for Miss T. So thank you so much, Rochelle. Nikki B. Hi T and Quilters. Winter return to MO. Right. Exactly. Melody Kiefer, good evening to you and everyone. Paid the rent at the door. Yes. Sandra Oldham is here saying hi to you and everyone. Monty Pep, lighting. It was lightning here in New Jersey. Beverly Akins, hello TNT Quilters. Vivian Calvey, hi T and everyone. Liz Wilson, hello everyone. Paula Hoopenarmer saying hi T and everyone. Hello Paula, welcome to the chat. Linda Denton saying hello everyone. Denise Sopatch 33, hello Miss T and everyone, and reminding people to also hit the thumbs up button. So thank you. Teresa McCormick saying good evening all. Shirley Peters, hello Miss T and everyone. Melina Montoya saying happy Saturday everyone. Betsy Layton saying hello to all. Diane 57 saying good evening everyone. T, I sent you a message on Messenger. I have to get that. On Saturdays, almost every Saturday I have something to do. Almost every Saturday I have to get up early to do that when I haven't probably had much sleep. So then when I do whatever I have to do on Saturdays, I'm normally home, I don't know, 4-ish. And then I take a nap. I haven't even eaten anything since lunch. Sleep is more important at that point. And so I haven't checked any social medias when I wake up. Then it's time for me to start figuring out what I'm going to do for live chat. So I will check that later. And then if you're not a friend, Messenger doesn't always tell me either that I have a comment or a message because we're not friends. And this seems like sometimes I don't even notice it until like 3 or 4 days later so I'll look tonight when I get off. But yeah, so that's what's up with that. My screen jumped to the bottom. I must have moved my hand. So let me figure out where I was. So I will respond to you, Paula. Carrie Richards saying hi to you and everyone. Helen Finaldi saying hi, T Quilters. Rose Hinton, hey T and T Quilters. Quilts by Carmel. Joe Carmel saying, hey Ms. T and T Quilters. And who else? See, Katie Kraft saying hi T and all. Susan, you're out. Says hi T and everyone. Becky Bramlett saying hello everyone. Starting a new crochet project, another Afghan, of course. So that's good. You're getting them done, girl. Darcy Savali says, remember to give T her thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell to get notifications about tea time. So thank you, Darcy. Appreciate that. She's my main thumbs up moderator, so I appreciate that. Of course, I moved again, so I'm going to have to figure out where that is. Let's see. Looking for Darcy. All right. Peggy O'Connor. Hey, Peggy. Saying hi, TNT Quilters. Listening tonight and quilting a baby quilt. Saw Peggy today. Peggy, I sent you a email. I wonder if you left your surge protector in your charger. And I don't know if you responded back, but just want to make sure since I got you now that you know what I'm talking about. So if I haven't sent your email, if it didn't get sent or something by accident, then just respond to that. I'll tell you what's up with that. Kenosha M saying hi everyone. Hello, welcome back. Jonah Crutchfield saying hello, everyone. Cam R says, good evening, quilters. I have really started to look forward to this live on Saturday so I can sew with others. T, you have a wonderful community here. Yes, we do. So thank you, Cam R, for that. Patricia Priest saying howdy and the rent's paid. Sandy Agger, the same thing. Let's see. Janice Miller saying hello, T and quilters. Helen says we had summer here in Cali. Almost always, but you every once in a while the weather gets bad there. Susan says, oh dang, time to put in my pre-cataract surgery eye drop. Darcy says we got a little more snow. It's gone now, but it keeps getting my son's tennis games canceled. Oh my. I don't want to see any more snow. So Diane57 is also reminding people to please like and share this video. Subscribe if you have not. Also check out our Facebook page. So thank you, Diane57. Melissa LePage says, no, wait, don't start yet. Good evening, T and everyone. And while I'm saying it's cold here, Joe Carmel is singing it's hot out here in Cali. Don't rub it in, girl. Judy Hebert says, hi, T and friends. I was waiting for you to come on and was concentrating on loading my quilt on a long arm. When you came on, you startled me and scared me for a minute. Paid my rent. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jason Lewis says, evening, Miss T and T Quilters. Hope everyone is having a great Saturday. Katie Crafts is here. Snowy day here in Colorado. Girl, that's one place I would never visit in the winter. And now I see a lot about Utah and all this. They've up in the mountains have 2.5 times their history for snow accumulation. And I'm like, that's too much snow. The snow is taller than the houses. The houses are buried. They're like having to unbury themselves, and they have nowhere to put the snow because it's been snowing so much. I have never seen anything like that, and I don't want to. That's a lot of snow up north. Bonita Nance is here saying, hey, Miss T and everyone eating dinner. We'll be listening. And Diane's also reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Did I say Jason Lewis? Yeah, I did. Trying to make sure. Like that says peace and blessings to all. KD says she's taking a break. We had a 2-hour dance workshop, then Dan, her body and brain are tired. Yeah. And I think that's where I am now. I don't really want to do anything, but hey, I got live chat, so I got to come in here. Claudette Bettis saying hello, T and everyone. Laura B. Floss Tube saying, good evening, ladies. I'm working on some fabric top kitchen tiles to give as a party favors for my graduation party, May 13th. I also have a niece graduating this month, so congratulations. That's an awesome achievement. Helen says, it's way too soon for this heat. Oh, so it's that hot. Okay. And it's way too hot for April here. Okay. Misty Smith saying hello, everyone. Hey, Misty, welcome to the channel. Peggy says, yes, thanks, T. I'll respond to email. Okay, great. And then Laura says, I'm in Columbia, Missouri. The weather today ruined my yard work outside plans, so I decided to work on some sewing. It's too cold for April 22nd. Yes, my husband went out to do the lawn. Thank God, first of all, that we have a riding mower. So at least he didn't have to walk in the cold. But he could only do the front yard because it was so cold outside. When you warm up to like having 3 and 4 days in 80 plus weather, and then it goes back down and it's windy, it was like icy cold today. And he could only cut the front yard, which is the smallest amount of cutting to do. But I'm glad the front yard got cut because at least it looks good from the street. Just don't look at the back. And you know, that first growth of grass is always like patchy grass. It just looks horrible. So have to do that on another day. Damali J is here. Hey, Damali. Good evening, Miss T and Quilters. Had a rainstorm and all is calm now, so that's good. Paula says, I haven't watched a live for a while. We're not friends. I just want to let you know to look for it. Okay, and I will respond to you. So thank you. Nikki saying I was camping and brought my grandma's garden quilt to work on. Too cold, so I came home this afternoon. uh-uh. See, I don't like cold either. I'm one of those people that don't like it like really hot, but I don't want to be like bone chill cold. And I think I've gotten through the comments, so that's pretty good. So let's see. As I said earlier, had scrap quilting club today. I did have my brother Ray came over on Thursday after working his job. He came and I forgot all about I had a guild meeting appointment. So my daughter was gracious enough to go pick him up from work. He works on this side of town, lives on the opposite side of town. So she actually picked him up, and then when she got here with him, I said, "Girl, I forgot all about it. I got guild meeting. Can you drop him back off?" And then that was the night we had storms here. But the route she had to take him home, she actually missed it. So I was like, thank God she wasn't driving in anything bad, especially with the baby. But so I'm starting to put fabric up on my wall. Now, one thing you'll notice, if you have something and you take all the fabric off and it just fits on there now, and you take it off because you have a catastrophe like your whole shelving unit falls, and then you go back to put said stuff back on those same shelves, it never fits. So I got on the shelves what will fit with a little space to grow for some colors, not a whole lot. So I am going to have to move some stuff that's stored somewhere else that's going to end up being in the shed that's I'm hoping gets built mid to late July because I really need it to put all of my African fabric. So I have been storing my African fabric in the basement, but I'm going to have to take that space and use it for my regular fabrics because I have overflow issues. So I'm going to be working on that. So I still have a giant mess, although my fabric wall looks really nice. The rest of my space is still messed up. And then also anything that was new that I bought, I did add those things in. I was wrapping fabric. So it takes a while to get your stash back into a usable condition when you take it all apart or when you're first reorganizing it. I remember when I first did that wall, I probably wrapped about 12 to 1300 pieces of fabric. And it took me over a month to do that, just fabric. So it does take a while to get your stash back into play. Let's see. See what else came up while I was chatting just to make sure. Lori saying, well, this graduation is about 25 years past the normal age for a bachelor's, but hey, better late than never. I'll start a graduate program this fall. So that's awesome. You do what you do when you can do it. People have different circumstances in life. It's still a major accomplishment. So good for you. See, how many quilts are you working on right now, girl? A lot. I have 3, and I might show you one. I have 3 of those My Roots quilts tops that need to be quilted. That I pieced in February at retreat. I have two scrap club projects. Well, technically 3 because I got Not Today that I'm almost finished with the Not Today quilt that I sold on here. I just need to make a label. And so all the binding is sewed down except for the corner that gets a label. So I need to make a label and do that. The other things I'm working on. I just did the Sew Along with Sew Creative Lounge. And this here was what I was trying to show you all on. I'm just going to turn it this way. I was trying to show you all this on Wednesday, and I forgot to bring it in here. But this started out as a giant 9-patch, and then I just cut pieces, and then we sewed them back together. It's kind of like a disappearing 9-patch type quilt, but cut different. You just cut in different cuts. So that's was supposed to be made into like a casserole carrier, and I don't know if I want to make it into one yet. I haven't decided. 2 scrap club projects I can't talk about. 2 boho hearts quilt tops from the sew along. I'm working on another sew along I haven't talked about on here, and not gonna start today because I have too many questions. And I do that on Thursdays in a Zoom class. Sorta, kinda. It's a class, but it's not. It's like a sew along. Um, what else? Um, Lately I just been making a whole lot of boho heart blocks. So I think that's currently it. I do have 2 more scrap club projects that I need to start and finish, so I'll be doing that as well. So always have a lot of works in progress. My problem is getting them quilted is my issue. I get the quilt tops done pretty fast. Washington State is a rainy state and has not stopped raining. Hopefully, we'll get out of the 30s and into the 40s and 50s. Working on my scrap quilts from Lori Holt from book Scrappiness is Happiness. I do have the book. I think it was Joe Carmel that sent me that book, and I do like it, and I do want to do it. I know that she had sew along information on her website, had some corrections and stuff. I thought from the book or either from what she had gave out for the sew along. So I did go on her site and download that, and I think I and hope I stuck it into the book. So whenever I do it one day, I'll have everything I need. But that's pretty cool. I actually love that book. Um, T. Roberts is here. Says greetings, all T quilters. I will pop in and out. I'm assuming. um, like so says gonna start working on some pocket prayer quilts. And thank you, Nikki and Beverly and Darcy. She says, greetings, all tea cultures will pop in and out at an outdoor party. Freezing, girl. I think I would have been something else come up at the last minute. It is cold outside. Denise, So Patch 33 says, thanks for the visit. The husband is calling. We'll catch the replay. Laurie says, I understand I have 18 tops right now that I need to get quilted. I go to my brother's to quilt. He has a long arm. I better get back sewing. I'll listen in. So, girl, I probably got about 50 to 70. I stopped counting. Okay. I got a lot of stuff to quilt. Sheila Willis saying, good evening, T and everyone. And then I have a lot of works in progress as I'm doing this lecture from things I made from COVID. Like I never figured out a border for my Cleopatra's fan quilt top. So that needs to be finished at some point. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not finished. I got 2 GE designs quilt tops as well. So it's a lot I have to do. Last time we was here, I had this block here that I needed to put a frame around because it needs to be a bigger size. So that's why I stopped at this particular area where I'm at. So we're going to get started with that. I got to move cords so I don't press the cords. I need to cut on this iron so I can press. And we need to put a frame on this block to make it bigger. So what in the world? I cut this the wrong size. Okay. So I cut this 5 1/2. So guess what? I gotta go and cut my piece of fabric because I cut out there and left the fabric. Okay. We can't sew a thing. So I know you all can't see me, but you can hear me probably. So I am just going to cut a whole new strip instead of just cutting a 1-inch square. I have enough to do that, but I would really prefer not to do that. So I'm just going to cut a strip and then I'll come back to you guys and or cut something that can be cut into a 1-inch strip. How about that? All right. All right. It's always something. All right. Hey, Blackbird22 says good evening, tea in chat. So I just cut a strip off and I'm just going to, I just whacked a piece. So I have one straight line. I just need to line it up and cut another one. All right. All in the name of last minute prep. Whoops. Are you on the desk? See, this is why I don't like the press and cut boards because they get cattywampus. Okay. I'm just going to put this one up because it's a big ruler. And we need 2 pieces, 6.5. I cut 5.5. Diane saying technical difficulties. Teresa Louise, I quilt 2 is here. Hey, Teresa, saying hello, Miss T, and waving. That's nice. How have you been? Darcy says, give her a thumbs up. Mary says, oops, I'm late. Mary F. So I'm going to actually use my board to cut this. It's like, I'm trying to use the smallest ruler possible when I'm in this area. Only when I have to use the bigger ones. All right. I should have brought the extra piece back in here. Then I would have used the 1.5-inch square. I wouldn't have had to leave, but that's not how it happened. See, what had happened was, put this back, turn this back over. My iron is hot and I haven't sewed a stitch now. A lot of you all saying hi to each other. Remo JS is saying, good evening, Miss T and Quilters. Thumbs up. Thank you, ma'am. Sharon Lewis is here saying hi, T and Quilters. And let's see. Make sure we get everybody before I go back. She says, it is so frustrating when we cut wrong. I cut a long strip of binding at 2 instead of 2.5. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to put those in the back. And we're going to start with these. Well, at least I'm like, did I square the block up wrong or did I cut the sashing strip wrong? So hopefully we got the next pieces cut right. And I have not. I want to make sure I get the little thread bunnies around my presser foot, my needle guide. I'm sorry, a needle holder. Try to pull some of that off while the needle is down. Okay, now it's telling me my bobbin thread ran out. I really don't think that's true. I think it's got something to do with the threading. Yeah, it's not even stitching. Okay, needle up. All right. So when that happens, for me, most times, and this is just stuck, and I knew that was going to happen. So that's why I went to the top. When that happens, I tend to just rethread the whole machine. Because most of the time it's not the bobbin, it's the top, but it's giving you a bobbin error. It just knows some thread is not right when it's getting to this needle. And now I can't even, the bobbin don't want to pop out. Okay. It's always something. These are extra pieces. I should have 2 of those. Okay. Okay. My bobbin spring is not working. Do that go out? I'm gonna have to drop the whole bobbin case to get the bobbin out. It sure ain't coming out of here. This is weird. So I have to take the whole case out because this won't pop out. It's like this spring is down or something. And it's like in here. Here we go. You know what? Today is not going to be a day where I'm going to fight. If this don't work out, guess what? I don't want to sew anyway. We're going to be chatting in a minute. I'm trying to figure out why this spring isn't working. I see it. Hmm. And the thread is pulling, so it's not wrapped around anything. Okay. It's gonna be one of those days. Oh my goodness. And this thing is not budging. See if I can stick this in there. We may not be sewing today. I don't even have another machine in this room. Where is my other machine? I think I took it to the basement, the one that I use for class, because I haven't had to use it in a minute. So it's in the basement. Whatever makes the little spring works to get your bobbin out, it's not springing. It's been sprung. And it won't come out of here. I'm just surprised it's not coming out of here. I got the bobbin case in my hand and can't get the bobbin out of the bobbin case. See? Okay, it has nothing to do with the needle here. When I raise my presser foot, when I hit that button, it raises the needle and raises the presser foot. So my needle is up, just in case. But I don't know why this spring is not working. Let's see if I can. I've never had a bobbin not come out, so I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna put this back in here, see if it sews, and then I will have to take it in so that I can get this out of here, or see if Bernina Jeff has ever had this happen. I haven't. So it's like the whole bobbin case ain't even sitting flat, because it's not supposed to be in here like this. That's why. Okay. So I don't even know if I can get this back in here, because um uh it's not supposed to be sitting here in the first place like that. Okay. We'll see if it sews. At least until this bobbin runs out. Now I don't got hot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Just sew on a piece of scrap here. See if that works. Now I feel like I got fabric fibers on my face. All right, let's see if it sews. I got a thread at the top. It was a good thing I took it all apart, because I would have never known that otherwise. So now I know I can't get the bobbin out. I've never heard of such. Okay. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? I'll be pulling out a different machine here. All right, let's try this again. And the bobbin thread is not breaking again. It does it every now and then I've got all this extra thread. So the top thread didn't break either. Okay. So neither thread broke. Okay, so we'll figure that out later. Like, soon as I run out of thread. I'm not going to fight with the planet today. It's Earth Day. I'm going to let it go, whatever happens. All right. I got too many machines to be going through this. Today, I don't feel like playing with this machine. All right. Lori talking about, I can't believe it's sold at all. Right, I can't even get the bobbin out. I have another bobbin case, but it's for machine embroidery or couching. I can't remember which one I bought. However, it's stuck inside of the housing unit of the bobbin. That means I need a new bobbin case and I need a new housing unit. That's a lot. I don't have an extra one of those. That's weird. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Um, um, June says I've had a day with my machine and the threads is either they break or the bottom thread gets caught. So I'm taking a break. Yep. I'll take it in. Teaquilts, do you have another bobbin case? I read that one. That is weird. A stuck bobbin, right, in the bobbin housing. Um, so yeah. And Diane saying drop it on the floor. I won't be doing that because then I'll break the piece I want. Susan says my bobbin first need first aid sewing. I'm using my Viking Husqvarna is what I'm sewing on. Jakara is here. Hey, Jakara from Brazil. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a little bit. And nobody uses my machine. um, Remo's reminding people to thumbs up and then back out and show your love and support to our Queen of Scrap. 77 thumbs up, 116 watching. If watching, subscribe, join, and you will learn a lot. Well, thank you, Miss Remo. Kevin going, not today. Where you come from? All right, I don't have time for that. Michelle, the quilter saying, hi, T. There's a YouTube video on what to do. It must be a common problem. So thank you, Michelle. That's what I plan to do after I, get through with the live. Yeah, and if the thread runs out beforehand, then that's another signal to me that I didn't need to sew today anyway. So I'm very flexible. My feelings will not be hurt. Okay, making sure I'm sewing to the right side. I'm sure my iron has all cut off again. Yep, that's how it's going to be today. It's going to be one of those days. I haven't sewed on, I did sew on it Thursday. And for the Zoom sew along, but that was it. And it's so fine then, so I don't know what's going on. Or I can't remember if something happened. I don't remember. All right, basically we're just putting the frame on here. It's not heated up yet, but that's okay. Get rid of any little stray threads. And go on to the next piece. So I'm working on, I think, group 3. And I need to finish 4 and 5. I thought I'd do that today, but I got a lot of stuff I had to cut that I didn't sew ahead of time. So I won't get through with it today, especially with the current troubles that I'm having. But what in the world? Oh, I know what's going on now. I was going to say, what in the world? This don't match up. It sews together a little different. I have a little pin I put in here so the fan don't blow everything off the board. All right, so So this piece, and it's too long. Now, which one is it? Is my block too small? Oh my goodness. My block's a little bit small. So what I'm going to do is center my piece. It's about 1/8 of an inch too small. It's the struggle bus today. And we're going to make this fit in the seam allowance. That's what we're going to do. Struggle bus all day long. Goodness gracious. Um, um, I don't know where I'm at. Beverly is saying something. Jason saying doing the most. Yeah, this machine. Yes, there is a YouTube on how to get it out. That was Sandy. And we're going to work on piecing these blocks and let this machine win. If it wants to win, we will let it today, right now. And like I said, when it run out of thread, we're done. I can't tell how much thread is in there. I know it's not a full bobbin because I sewed on it Thursday, so it's not a full bobbin. But the Bernina bobbins do last for quite a bit of stitching. So we'll see. All right, this is the one that's too small. My block, I did not measure my block. Don't know why. I just thought it was the right size. I don't know. All right. So this is underneath. This is on top. So we're going to line up to the top and have a little bit extra. And I'm going to pin it so it don't move. Ease in that part of that seam allowance that's too little. Putting my pins far back to make sure I catch it. And then I'm going to turn it over and sew from the side that's short. All right. All right. Ease it in. Last piece on the block we're building up. Right here. And there. All right. I have nothing else to sew. So which one of these is the biggest seam? Yeah, I want to press this way so that I'm folded onto the full seam. All right. Oh Lord, I got to break the thread because I have the next sections not even put up here and it's not going to break. So I may as well just raise the presser foot and the needle. That time it did not even raise the needle. All right. Okay. So this is my letter T in here. It's subtle. but I know it's there. So we got to turn it the right way. And sew this together. Okay. I'll read comments in just a second. I don't know if anything has come up, but I'm trying to make sure I don't. It's telling me now my top thread is out, which is alive, which tells me that it's actually the bobbin. So I'm going to rethread the top just to make sure. Raise this presser foot. We all know it's the bobbin. That's the problem. It did sew the seam. Okay. And I'm wasting thread because I'm cutting the thread too. So that's going to be wasting more bobbin thread because I'm not chain piecing. All right. Try threading this again. Maybe it jumped out the thread guide. All right. Right there. I will press this seam. The next thing I have to do is put these two pieces together. All right. This is the top. That's the top. So no seams match on this seam. Just want to get started. Hold the threads. All these flying geese seams I got here. All going the opposite direction of how I'm sewing, of course. All right, we're almost there. Halfway through. All right. So I got all of that sewed. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm going to read some comments. And then we're going to put the next blocks on this board. I want to move that before I knock the cup over next. And then it's going to be, I think I'm leaving. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lori says, you're not alone. I Googled to see if I could find a fix for you, and there are tons of videos on YouTube talking about it. Okay, thank you. My husband just called. I will be back. That's Darcy. I was thinking it would jar it loose so you could remove the bobbin. She's talking about if I drop it. I'm not dropping that thing because I don't want the point. This bobbin is totally different than any other bobbin case, and how it's like the housing of. It's not the bobbin case. The bobbin is in the bobbin case, and then it has a housing. The actual housing comes out on this Bernina for you to clean it, and it has pointed edges on it. And if I drop that and it hits one of those points, I'm going to break it. And so I'm not interested in that because I don't want to buy another one of those. So I'm not ignoring you, Diane. I just know I'm not doing that. I like your shirt, Miss T. Thank you. We're about to get new. It's going to have the same logo, but we're getting new shirt colors. It's going to have the same logo, but different color. So I'm the one that's holding that process up because I'm busy doing other stuff. But I do need to do that. Them sure are some pretty fabrics in those blocks, Miss T. Thank you, Kevin. Talking about Pound Bernina winning. Mary says, Tika, what brand of thread is that? I've been using I don't know why we're being asked about the thread, because I have sat here and sewed in front of you all for 2 years using this machine with Masterpiece thread from Superior and never had a problem with it. So I don't think that's the problem. I've sewn with this thing 2 times. It's Michelle talking about the struggle bus. I love that. Did you check your thread? Helen says, I like to wait for the bus. Yeah, it's not stuck on anything. There's nothing by my thread even laying on the. I use freestanding thread stand because I use larger spools, and there's nothing catching my thread. Machine says it's tired. Look like Miss Menina is sewing pretty good. Rhonda Barlow is here saying, hey, T and everyone. Hey, Rhonda, welcome to the chat. You might want to go ahead and turn that iron off. That's Melissa. So positive, Melissa. Oh, my God. Kevin says, if I thought you were using the new thread you got at Quilcon for the bobbin thread. No, I used it at the top. I never did wind bobbins with it. I always wind my bobbins with either R-Fill or the KC. And that's what I got in there now is the KC Masterpiece thread in my bobbin. Most times I use R-Fill thread in my bobbin. So, and good night, Miss Vivian. All right. Let's put the next group of blocks up that I'm gonna need, because this is the sections group 4 and 5 kind of go together, sort of, kind of. Put that over there. Let's see, that's on top. I'm trying to see if I need a particular block in a particular spot. The light one going over here would be best. So 6 and 6, and then I don't think I had that piece. I miss cutting some pieces. I don't have those pieces. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little small pieces I do not have. Okay. And I did not cut those. I need a 2-inch square over here. And I just used a crumb square, so I'll, oh, it's not the same fabric. Okay, so a 2-inch square there. And then a 3-inch square over here. This is my plus. A 3-inch square right here. And then my plus. Okay. Yeah, I got a space. It's gonna be a long day. Okay. I don't want that up against that. So I'm just gonna I got a piece of paper on here telling me block count numbers. And I'm gonna put these up until I need them back into the bag so I don't lose these, since they're not on the board. And my watch comes on and tells me 2 hours to bedtime. Not 2 minutes, but 2 hours to bedtime. It's like, okay, that's never happened before. I think it's telling me, the gig is up. um Betsy is funny saying Bernie doesn't like the weather outside. Right. Mary says, T, I didn't mean I didn't mean it was the thread. I was just nosy as to what the different cone was. Yes, I always use large spools of thread for piecing, especially when I'm not going anywhere. It just means I don't have to worry about my smaller thread cones running out. And buying larger cones is cheaper than buying the smaller cones of thread. And Diane says, it's okay. I should have known that it would be made different. Yeah, that's the problem. Teresa talking about, are you holding your mouth right, Miss T? That is funny. I've been working on my trinket quote loan with Allison Glass and then working on group 3 of Boho Hearts. Paula says, time for meds and then bed. Good night, everyone. Good night, Paula. Okay, so we know we're missing that part, so we can't do that. We can sew the strip that goes, let's see, I got all of this stuff here that I brought in here, and I'm going to lay it here and pray I don't lose anything. All right, 2-inch piece goes on top of this. It's gonna be one of those days. What was that? The show. Those were the days. What was the name of that sitcom? Oh my gosh, Edith. And what was the husband's name? Oh, oh my goodness. It just popped into my head. I just needed to sew something because I'm not interested in cutting thread anymore because I'm going to run out of bobbin and we're not going to be sewing at all. So let me press this and then I'll show you this section because it's done. And I also want to trim these threads from having the tails from rethreading. I always try to get rid of those right away instead of keep going. Then I don't have a whole quilt to go look for them. All. Okay. I don't know why I'm not using my wood press right there. Becky says, you remember the old mama said there'll be days like this? There'll be days like this. My mama said, yep. And did I miss something else? Those were the days, all in the family. And that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't quite sure. So thank you to Kevin. Miss Topaz says, joining late. Hi, everybody. Archie Bunker. Thank you. All right. So here is section 3 for me. All done finally. We're going to toss this to the side. Oops, it should be up there, but it's okay. We're just going to toss everything to the side. All right. So I need to sew these 2 strip sets together. I don't drop my snips. We need those. All right. Then I have to regroup in my seat. All right. We're going to sew these 2 strip sets together. And then all the drama happens after that. Well, if you haven't had drama yet, I got all these loose strips I got to keep straight. Currently, they're in the correct order, but that won't last for long. Okay. I find sometimes on this Bernina that the thread just pops out of the tension every now and then at the top. So even when it gives me bobbin messages, I always check the top thread too. Just get it over with. Now these two pieces that I just did get sewed together. So I got to find something else to do. So I have a 18.5 piece and a 17.5 piece that goes together right here. And then this piece gets a 1-inch square. All right, so they're the same size. All right. So now I can take these two pieces off and sew them together once I press. Good night, Mary. I've got quilt tops and backing saying we need batting. Yep, I just bought batting a couple weeks ago. Uh, beautiful. Thank you, everybody, saying so pretty. Minnie Dula saying hello, everyone. Hey, Minnie. Diane talking about you're so funny, T. Girl, you better keep yourself positive because the stuff will try to drive you nuts. Miss Topaz says, I haven't worked on the boho heart in a month. Now, I'm going to give you some inspiration because Betsy came to Scrap Club, hadn't worked on it, and she's caught up with the halfway mark. So that was pretty cool to see that she sat down and got it done. So it's doable. It is very doable if you want to get caught up. So don't feel discouraged. All right. It's still actually heating up, but we're going to try to help this along a little bit. Looks good, T. Thank you, Maddie. I got frustrated with the color mixing. That was Miss Topaz. Yeah, I can understand. Half the battle is deciding what blocks you're gonna. I don't know why I keep using my fingernail, and all it's gonna do is make them weak. But you can get caught up. My strip stick was turned upside down. I'm hitting the plastic label. Very beautiful quote coming along from Helen. Thank you. Susan says, I need to work on Summer Moon again. That's nice. Jason, you missed Scrap Club, and somebody brought a completed 100 block quilt in. So I did take pictures, but I don't even think I uploaded pictures last month. I do need to do that. I need to upload some pictures. I can't remember if I put them on my camera last time or if they were on my phone. I have to look. So let's sew these two together just to get them started. Pull them out. Get my ends matched up. Go somewhere in the middle. I want to get this seam pulled out. All right, now we do the other half. Pull in the middle. So the next section, I think I'm doing that plus. That's why I'm doing squares. All right. Went all the way off the table. All right. I'm going to press toward the background. Maddie says, T, do you put water in your iron? I was told no on the one you're using. I've been using water in this iron since 2018. Every iron, they say you shouldn't put water in, but then the manufacturers give you instructions that you can use water. So I do put water in my irons. I do abuse my irons. I don't always get the water out of the iron, especially in here. I have to have a cup. Like I got the solo cup in here, so it'll probably get empty tonight. I'm bad with that. Let me make sure I'm sewing this the right. What in the world? Okay. Let me see which pieces I have because I might be sewing the wrong side. And I am. No. I just didn't go down and get the right piece. I didn't have them in order. Okay, so I gotta break the thread. The thread I'm trying to save. I think this is going on here backwards, like reverse. And my background strips have got to match up. I don't want to take it out later. I'm gonna lay it out this time. I got all three pieces. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. That one should be on the side I'm sewing on. This is the middle. I was sewing it to the opposite side. All right, get those little strings out, and then this is over here. All right. I just didn't stack it right. I gotta sew these three together too. So I may as well lay these out because they're the exact same things, just different sizes. And so those are the long ones. These are the shorter ones. This one gets a square on it. We're gonna get it. I'm not gonna let the sewing beat me. The machine can beat me, but not the sewing. We'll get it. I'm just having one of those days, I guess. I guess my brain is, why is my machine not sewing right? Why the bobbin won't come out? But I'm glad you all told me that there's a video out there. All right. And then I sew these two together on the right side. Right here. Get you started. And then make sure they're the same length. They are, but I always make sure. So we're going to sew all of this up. We're not going to, we're going to sew what we need to sew for this so we don't have any more confusion with this getting out of order. We're going to ignore the piece I'm about to cut off. What did I've already cut off? Like this piece. We'll ignore it for a minute. Just a minute. This one here. I will just press with that. And then we'll put these two pieces together. They're the same fabric. So I'm like, while I'm sewing one, let's sew both. They're either both wrong or they're both right. I'm 100% either way. I read comments once I get this part done because it seems like I need to concentrate. That's what it seems like to me. And then it gets another piece. And I've been pressing these seams open, but I'm not. All right. We're going to turn it over actually and press it the other way away from the square because it's going to be a piece unit. Away from that little square. All right. This piece goes on the other side of the square. Thank you, Darcy, saying remember to give T your thumbs up when you come or before you leave. Brenda Foley is here saying hello, just got home. And Vintage Singer 221 Centennial followed me home. Now, isn't that wonderful? You are braver than me, T. That's Diane. I think that was about putting the water in the iron. Yeah. I have always put, this is my thing. I like water. I like steam ironing. I know some people don't like it, but again, I also know how to press, not iron, so that I'm not stretching the fibers because they're slightly damp from the steam. And then I feel like the iron is hotter with the steam than without steam. So I do put water in my irons. But the manufacturer did not put on there not to put water in the iron. I think that also depends on like what area you live in and your water condition and all of that, whether you need to use tap water or distilled water. All of that matters. So I don't have a problem with the water in my irons. They're gonna go out. They're gonna go out because I run them down. I like on Saturdays when I'm home and I don't have anywhere to go, I would have that iron on all day. From the time I got up, I'm doing only food breaks. That iron was on. So I can work an iron. Marita's Yarn and Craft is talking to Darcy. So Minnie says the only way I could do boho quilt would be in person. And that's how some people's learning style is. So it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that it's a different learning style. And like, I did not like go in and talk about or show you how to make each block. What I did, because her instructions are there for each block. If it was something that wasn't clear, then I clarified that. But what I talked about was background, choice of blocks. If a block was too difficult, you didn't want to make that particular block, what to do, different options for setting, things like that. So I'm not teaching people how to make her blocks. She's got that in the book. If you've got a question, all you have to do is just post in the group and somebody will help you with that part. Oh, crap. This needs to come apart that I just pressed, okay? I need the square up here. It's going to be one of those days, guys. See, this is one of those times when like I didn't want to sew and I wouldn't normally come in here. And sometimes I do come in on live chat and I just said, you know what, it's not going to be a sew day. And that's what I should have done today. But I was trying to, go ahead and sew. You said you were going to finish it. And now I'm spending half of my time ripping. All I got to do is turn this strip around. It's in the right, the strip itself is in the right orientation. The square is not. It's got to meet up at the top, not at the bottom. Woo wee, honey child. Oh. Rochelle says, I've had a bad day just like you. My iron died just when I was doing my scrappy quilt. When everything goes wrong, I go buy fabric like I really need it. Laughing out loud. Yep. Um, I just said today, if unless it's one of my collection fabrics I find on sale, I'm not buying any fabric. When you start touching your fabric, and then the space that I have, the stuff won't even go back in. And I mean, I did wrap up a lot of fabric that had never made it to my shelf, so I know why it doesn't fit. But when you got to find space to put stuff, it's like, this is ridiculous. You don't need another piece of, especially just generic fabric like tone on tones or light backgrounds. I need none of that. I just need to go to my shelf and use stuff. And guess what I do when I make a quilt? I go to my stash bin. So my yardage is only being used when I'm running out of that particular scrap bin. I mean, not my stash. I go to my scrap bin drawer. So yeah, I just need to be using this fabric. That's all. We're gonna get it figured out. Eventually I might be doing some scrap bags. Who knows? I told y'all Wednesday that I had a new quilter that I gave her a whole tote bag full of strings and crumbs. Just went into the drawer and just pulled it out. And the drawer still looked full. You would never know anything was taken out the drawer, okay? it's it's ridiculous. I got too much fabric. And I really want to do a lot more with the African print. So I'm really thinking, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna have a sale or if I'm going to just start cutting some of this stuff into kits. Y'all know I like black prints with color, so I won't be getting rid of that. I like some Tula. I'm not a Tula pink fan, but I have some of her fabric, so I wouldn't be cutting that. I collect fossil fern, so I wouldn't cut that. Fairy frost, I wouldn't cut those. Um, but there are a few things that I just need to cut. They so pretty. It's like, girl, cut this stuff. You're not gonna use all this fabric. So if I sell it, then if I'm making kits, then I have to go buy something to make a kit. That don't make any sense. So I just need to cut it up. Cut it, cut it, cut it. Now I got this needs to be turned around. This one needs to be pressed so I can restitch this. Oh my goodness. It's just one of those days. It happens to everyone. And then I still don't know what's wrong with the bobbin. So I got to figure that out. But guess what? That'll be tomorrow or some other day. I might forget and it might be next Saturday and we'll be sitting here watching somebody else's video. I want to get all the little threads that I just cut. Um all right. I wanted to make sure I use a smaller stitch, and I feel like sometimes my seam ripper, when I try to do the rip down, it gets caught. Anybody else have issues with that? Because I'm wondering if it's because it's too tight and it has no space to get in there. And I feel like I'm going to rip my fabric if I don't. And we know today is not the day to be messing around with a seam ripper. Matter of fact, I'm going to close this thing up. Teresa Louise says she puts water in her iron. Laura says, I've always been confused with water and irons. You purchase steam iron and they have a place for it. Crazy that they tell you not to use it, but I don't. I just use the mister. The ironing companies aren't telling you not to use it. It's the quilters that are telling you not to use it. The crafts blogs and vogs are telling you not to put water in it. I put water in it anyway. I don't care. Remo says she likes steam. Laura says, I read that one. I put water in my iron too, from Diane. I'm going to do some boho hard work tomorrow because I might be going out of town later because Darcy got caught up too. She was behind and she just started posting stuff, getting it done. So this little square needs to be over here, child. Ooh-wee, I'm just making this difficult. I don't think my brain is here with me today. I just showed up for work, but my brain stayed in the bedroom. And it's not like I forgot what to cut because I just cut it starting at 7 p.m., okay? That's why I was late coming in here. See what you doing. Did it sew? Yes, it sewed. I think it's just the end to be. I don't know why that bunched up like that. I don't know. All right, so this is the 3 that are done, and the other one isn't because I had to take the seam out. But I can sew the piece that go at the bottom. I want to make sure my seam is open, so I'm gonna use my wood press first. No mishaps. We don't want any more mishaps. Because we already have plenty of mishaps. That we got. Oh my goodness. Susan says she prefers steam also. Laurie says this has been a long day. I think you need chocolate. Right. I need to eat dinner and then I'm going to chill. That's what I need to do. All right. This is the top. It looks correct right now. We need to press this one so I can sew it so I can get my... No. We can put you to the side. We got to sew this piece here on there. That's the whole purpose of all these, putting a square in there. All right. So we sew these two together first. Then I'll get my other one off. All right. Here we go. And press this one. I like steam to get the wrinkles all right. I like my stuff to be pretty. Teresa says, I agree, T. I think it depends on what kind of water you have. You might want to use filtered water. Yeah. And then she also says yes to chocolate. Right. I think, you can't, everybody in the country can't tell somebody not to put water in your iron when we're all living in different countries with, different parts of the country with different water conditions. And Missouri is, from past research, I haven't looked recently, but we have pretty good water here that you can drink. I go to Florida and I don't drink Florida's water. I make sure I always, when I get there, most times I drive to Florida, and the first thing I do is, if I don't bring it with me, I go buy a bottle of water because I know we're gonna need a whole lot of water when we're in Florida. Certain places you just don't drink the water. You all remember Michigan had water issues, and then Illinois governor stole all of their money, so I quit drinking Illinois water because I'm like, they're not going to tell you the water is bad. You're just drinking, and then it's too late once you've been drinking it. So I go through Illinois. I try not to drink their water too, So it's probably nothing wrong with Illinois water. I just don't drink it because I'm not going to trust it. At one point, Illinois was really struggling for funds, and When you was driving through Illinois, boy, they was pulling everybody over giving tickets because they had to make up some income some kind of way. It got to the point where I wouldn't even go over there. I said, I'm not doing it. So, and that's, I fully understood what was going on. If you ain't got money, your government got to have some money to run. So, but all right. So we got all of this for that I pulled the stitches out of. Okay. So that's one piece. This is the one I need to press so I can add to the blocks. And I got a little block over here, so I don't want to press it to that side now. Because trying to use my hand in here to move it down. I want to make sure I don't have any folds in here. That's why I want to press. Just give it a little bit of memory with my wood press. Put that back. I have been pressing these seams open, but we're at the end and having more issues than I've had the entire quilt. So yeah, we're done with that for right now. All right, so this should be 6 together, all matched up correct. I want to make sure before I go to the next step. All right, and it goes on this block here. Goes on the bottom of this block. All right, so we can sew this and get this other piece off. All right. Maddie says, T, I have done that. Yeah, I think she was talking about when I switched sides. I need to go. Good night, T, and good night to everyone. Good night, Diane. Shop your stash. Yes. Good. Susan says, oh, no, T, I've had days like that. Was a guest on a live via Zoom when my Bernina stopped. Then I decided to mark a quilt and the marking pen vanished. Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. Yes, I've had the same problems with seam ripper. Yep, I put that ball in that seam ripper, saying I'm gonna go ahead and zip down, and I'm telling you that sucker tore my fabric right at the seam line. And I think it's because I use a 2.0 stitch length, so that way if I'm ever doing any strip piecing where I need to cross cut, I don't have problems with that seam coming apart. But I just like the 2.0, so I stitch with it all the time. But it does mean that it's tighter when it's time to rip. But yeah. All right, so this is the bottom. I'm going to put a pin in the top. I'm going to put a 2-prong pin in the top so it don't come out. And I'm going to put it in there, weave it in there. Because at the rate my luck is going, it will fall out. And then I wouldn't know which one was the top or the bottom once I put it together. All right, we just need to sew this on these 2 pieces together. And then I need to sew this on top of a square block. All right, so we're going to press this one, put it back on the board. I missed some I missed cutting some units that I didn't even notice I had missed. Okay. So I can't sew this. It's a piece that goes in between these two blocks I'm about to show you. So this is another little section done that I can't do any more on. So, all right. So this right here gets a piece in the middle here in this empty space. And then this is just strips all the way down from there. So I can't sew these two pieces together, but what I'm going to do is just put a pin in it to hold them together. So if one gets lost, they both get lost, that type of thing. Fold it up and just put it on this board with a double prong pin. All right. My brother is here saying hi, sis, and everyone stay safe still. He coming in, we going out. Just about. We got, what, 22 minutes. Y'all know I'm ending on time, right? Oh my goodness. T just said something about the letter T, and I'm going to make a block that looks like the letter D and stick it in my boho. Yeah, I did one with a T, and then I was making something else. I said, well, we'll make an L for my mom too, just because. Sharon Lewis says, I prefer steam. I think you have a better press. I do too. And I don't have to use as heavy of a starch if I use some steam. Susan says, I've only had one iron. Stop putting water in it, leak like a sleeve. Right. I've had irons that, my husband watching, but he got caught yesterday doing something. I'm not going to throw him under the bus for that. But I will tell you that I know he doesn't iron with my irons, but I feel like if my iron gets knocked over, he's not going to tell me it got knocked over. But there's a time or two when water does leak out of my irons over the years. And I think it just got knocked over and nobody told me it got knocked over. And then, even the years when my daughter was here, of course, they're not going to tell you they knocked over $125 iron at the time. So, because I used to use all Rowentas and I just decided I'm done with Rowentas if they only last me 6 months. This Panasonic is the iron I only use when I'm here, mostly in a live chat, because even when I'm not in the live chat, I go back to my big board and press. So I mostly use my Oliso iron, and I bought a backup Oliso thinking, okay, I've had my Oliso iron a year and a half, and I bought a Oliso iron about a year and a half now ago, and that iron is still in the box now. I have pretty good luck with Oliso irons. They stay on for about 30 minutes before they cut off. So I'm able to come in here, sew a few things, and then I go back and iron, and the iron is still hot waiting for me. It's a few times it may not be hot, and it doesn't take too long for it to heat up. So to me, that is a great iron. My little Panasonic here has worked very well for me. Like I said, when I bought mine in 2018, the parts were all good. I actually bought a backup iron because I just knew this iron wasn't going to last longer than a year. But it's been lasting me since 2018 with water. And I have not had leakage. The only time this iron leaks is if I keep hitting the steam button and it's not heated. Um, that's the only time that iron will leak. I don't have no issues out of that Panasonic iron. And it is one of the irons that I do leave water in, that I don't take the water out all the time. So I don't know what is being made nowadays. Like I said, all my irons, except for I'm blocking the name of the curling irons. I saw the curling iron company, Kai irons. I bought a Kai iron because my daughter used to use Kai. Um, I don't use them. Flat irons. And so I said, well, let me try their iron. And I got the iron from Amazon. I bought it. I cut it on to use it. And then I don't know if Kevin got to use it or if he saw me with it and then he decided he wanted one. So he got one and he loves the Kai iron, but he doesn't put water in it. Now, my personal opinion, I feel like that iron does not get hot unless it has steam in it. I like more heat than that. But the way that Kevin presses, he uses full concentrated starch. So he's really wetting the fabric with starch, and then he puts another piece of fabric on top, but that water is still in there from the starch. And so he gets good presses with it, but I feel like it's not a hot enough iron for me. But I have it as a backup iron for my retreats. That's what I bought it for. Let me Elizabeth says, I've been quilting and sewing for over 50 years and always have used steam. I haven't purchased not one iron that has a steam hole and told me not to put water in there. I've had them tell me not to use distilled water. And then I've had other irons that says if your water is hard to use a softener or use distilled water. So it just depends on the iron that you got and the location where you are. But I sometimes put a drop of salt. That's Remo. I stopped at Heifers before coming home from Scrap Club. Yummy, bought some stuff. I'm trying to figure out where is that located. Is it on North Lindbergh? I can't remember right now. Marita says now here and got started my channel 2 weeks ago, hoping to learn more. And Nikki says my Rowenta leaked so bad I bought a cheap iron at Walmart and it worked great. And that's what I did when I got rid of Rowentas. I even got a steam generator in my closet that was still working when I put it in there. But the steam generator took up so much space, and I'm like, you're out, because when you first get stuff, you might have space for that type of stuff, but then as you keep getting stuff, as you all can see in this room, you start losing that counter space because it used to sit back here. And so the Rowenta hasn't been in the closet for years, but I do have the steam generator, the one that Jordan Fabrics was using originally. I think she's got a different one now. But yeah. uh I I am done with Rowenta. I would never buy another Rowenta anything, because that was my second steam generator of Rowentas that I purchased as well. So I tried everything thinking, okay, maybe I need a steam generator. The first one I go, maybe it's a fluke. So I bought a second one because it was out of warranty. I actually it was in warranty. I sent it back. And then I had marked my steam generator. And do you know they sent me back another steam generator trying to tell me that that was my steam generator? And of course, when I got it back, it wouldn't even cut on. Okay. And then they did nothing after that. So that I was like, okay, I'll buy one more steam generator, still trying to give the benefit of the doubt. That was, trying to give the company, benefit of the doubt, although I know that that wasn't mine that they sent back. But that one's in the closet. It worked, but I felt like, I don't know, it was taking up too much space, and I just decided, you know what, it's gonna die anyway. I think I bought one more regular Rowenta iron because of space. And then that lasted me 6 months. And then I was saying, okay, I'm done. Because normally I get a year out of them. The next one lasts me 6 months. I went to Walmart and I started buying like Black & Decker little $30 irons, Japanese name $30 irons. I didn't care. And I did that for a long time. And then I went back to Oliso. I had an Oliso a long time ago, but their technology had changed. And so I've been using this Oliso iron for so long. It's a long time I've been using that Oliso iron. And yeah, and it's been working way longer than a year. I want to say either 2017, 2018, something like that. It could have been 2016, because I bought it in Missouri Star, but I went 2 times, and then I went a third time and had a retreat. I know I had it at retreat. I can't remember if I bought it the first trip or the second. So yeah, but I had that one Oliso iron, been going for a long time, and now I bought a second one because I'm thinking, oh, it's about time for this iron to go out. Well, it's still going strong. So I love the Rowentas now. I mean the Olisos, not the Rowentas. Kim says, love my Oliso regular size, but my mini Oliso leaks pretty badly. And I did not get into the bandwagon on those smaller Olisos, because I use my Panasonic for a mini iron. But if I was traveling, I have that steam fast iron, and I put water in the steam fast iron, and it does pretty good. I don't use it all the time, but I have used. That was what I was using here, and then I said, "Girl, use this iron without the cord attached." So I started using the Panasonic. But I was using the steam fast iron here, but it did not leak for me with water. Sue says, "Hi everyone. Never use water in my iron. Use Best Press or another one of my irons for the distilled water. Arizona has hard water." And Graham in Washington. Graham in Washington. Okay, I know where you're talking about now. Okay. Thank you, Betsy. Um, I have been here a while, and you do learn so much from T and a lot of other people here. We are very good and caring group here. Yes. Um, Thank you, Darcy, for that. And we just had one of our new people say that in the chat on Wednesday, how nice the people, how nice and supportive the people were. And I think they had came in with some questions and stuff too. I was watching Fat Quarter Shop YouTube, and one of the teachers were saying that your seam ripper will get dull and that you need to change it. Darcy says T has a laugh chat on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time also. So thank you, Darcy. And it's for 1 hour. And yeah. So where was I? I need to sew that piece on here, but in the interim, I'm gonna have some strips I need to sew together. So first step is make sure that they're in order of sewing. And they are in order of sewing. So I need to sew these two together before I can take that piece off. So yeah, I'm gonna run out of this room. I do know that. I'm gonna cut the light off. My television is still on. I was watching television thinking I was gonna sit here and whatever I didn't finish on the chat, that I was going to, stay here and finish all of that, but that is not happening. That is not happening. We might be finishing this next Saturday. We shall see. Goodness. I'm not going to press steam because it wasn't fully heated. So I'm not going to do something that will probably cause water to come out. So I do watch what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So now I got my pin up here at the top telling me which side to sew to this square. And I'm just going to put a pin in here. I just cut it off because I'm going to do a strip, and otherwise it would have rolled right off my desk. All right, so now we go back to sewing this. I'm all discombobulated in here. All right. Just got to work my way down here to get to what I want to sew. All right, right there. All right. This is a long one. I think they only get longer after this. Teresa, I have had my Oliso 6 years still working, and I always have water in it. It's a great iron. Yes. The first Oliso that I got was not a great iron. And then it could have been the place that I bought it from too. I bought it from like a sewing vat where they sold sewing machines, but they really didn't teach classes or anything like that. Um, um, And so that first iron to me was not a good iron for me, and that's why I didn't use Oliso again after that, because that iron didn't last long. But it could have been where I bought it. But technology has really changed. Rosalind says, I've had good luck with my Rowenta. I've had it for 8 years, but I've never put water in it because I have hard water here in California. Yeah, I think they work just fine when you don't put water in them, but the instructions don't say not to put water in them because they know we won't buy them. The majority of quilters will not buy them if they say don't put water in them. And I can't remember if they've got a 6-month warranty or a year warranty. I don't know if I just didn't bother with the warranty on the regular iron or what. But I do know that, and part of that is because I know that especially when I was working, I come home every day after work, and while I'm cooking, I mostly baked everything. So I'm sewing from the time I got home from work to the time I go to bed. And Saturday, I had that iron on all day. And I'm like, Tijuana, don't even talk to them people about this iron. You know what you did to this iron. But they usually will last a year, not 6 months. So, and I was buying an iron every year. So I would wait for Joann's to put them on sale. And then I buy one earlier in the year and have it ready for when my iron went out. Well, as they kept doing that, I was like, you know what? We're not doing that. The one that went out in 6 months, I didn't even have time to get a backup. So, but if I can't put water in the iron, I don't want to buy it. If that's one of the things that they would advertise to me, I'm not buying it. I've had $35 irons last longer than a Rowenta with water in it. I went and bought like Walmart irons. I bought about 2 or 3 of them before I went back to Oliso. I didn't mind spending $35 for an iron. And I didn't mind doing it for 6 months either. But it wasn't 6 months. They actually last longer than a Rowenta. All right. So I got that. I need to put this on this side. And then we're sewing again. And I want to take that piece off. And I'm going to make this probably my last seam. These 3 pieces go together and go on the 6-inch block. This is the 6-inch block here that I'm putting these strips under. But I don't think we'll see. I really don't have confidence in that it's going to get done. Oh my. I really don't. Oh my goodness. Okay. Trying to hold my little spot here. All right, let that go. Go back over here. And the last part of this seam. All right. Let's see. Hubby stole my Kai iron, laughing out loud, ordering another cordless Panasonic one from Amazon. That's Joe Cormel. Ain't that something? Oh yeah, I think she said she dropped her Panasonic. Elena says, I'm doing my first foundation paper piecing. How do you get your fabric ready ahead or as you go? Anyone? Um, says she's cutting ahead, but it's taking forever. I think one of the things with foundation paper piecing is that you're using the papers on the inside, so they don't have to be cut to size. I just lay the paper down, and then I just whack like eyeball a 1/4 inch all the way around on a cutting mat. And I use a smaller cutting mat that I can just rotate it. And I don't have any in here, but like a very small one, like a 8x12, something tiny, 5x6, whatever smallest one you can get, because foundation paper pieces the patterns are pretty small. So I just lay the template down on top, because you don't have to cut one piece at a time. I just stack some fabric that I know I'm going to be cutting that shape out of. If I know I need more than one, then I just put it on the paper. Lay it on the fabric and just cut a 1/4 inch around that. And then if I am cutting all of them from the same fabric because they need to match or something, then I just fold that fabric a couple times, press it so that it doesn't flop back up. Give it just a little press so it has a little memory. And then I just waste fabric. It's okay to waste fabric. We got so much fabric. You thinking wasting just a little bit of it? My time is more important than that. So, yeah, that's what I do. When I've done some, I haven't done a whole lot because I really hate how slow it go, but I do love the end process. So this is another piece here that's got the cross in the middle. Yeah, the plus, not a cross, a plus. But I'm not sewing anymore today. I'm done. Um, we need to figure out what's wrong with the machine in the next few days. So I'm just going to pin this up here. I'm going to cut this machine off. We only got 2 minutes. It's not going to cut. So it cut the top this time. So that's a good start. Didn't cut the bobbin. And we'll press this. I'm not even going to heat set it first. Just go ahead and press it open. And then we can cut the iron off, the sewing machine off. And tomorrow I'll watch a video and figure that out. Right now it's not important. All right. I got through not what I wanted to sew today, but I got through a good chunk of what I wanted to sew. Things happen. You spend a lot of time chasing your own feet or something. I don't know. And then I put this on the board. I want to make sure I put it on this board right side up, the way it goes, so I don't sew it the wrong way. And I'm going to double fold it so it's not going to get knocked off, and put a double pin in it because we're extra cautious now. Let's end on a positive note. Let's see. I put my quilt back here. You're not going to be able to see it all. That's the beauty of this space right here. I at least try to show you the top. Ugh. I trimmed this up today at Scrap Club, so it's just ready for binding. It's one of those My Roots panel tapestry quilt tops. I got one of the 3 quilted. I have 2 more pieces that I need to do. So this one here, and you're not going to see a whole lot of it. I already know. Trying to fold it down a little bit. It's got a lot of people that have changed the way African Americans live in the United States on here. And then down here somewhere, she's got her My Roots glasses that's telling you what this is all about. My Roots. Oh. I used a red thread on some of it, and then I used gray threads when I got into the people. So I did change threads on it. The next one, this one was kind of custom quilted. The next one, and I will at some point take this out to my deck. I'm going to do the binding. And then I'll take it out since it's so close. It needs a binding and a label. And I'm going to put it on by machine. We got to get a machine working first. But I think the next time I'm just going to do an all over pattern, because I think I am going to be gifting these or just charging what the fabric cost, what I paid. And then they can just pay for the cost of that and not pay me for, like, if I was selling a quilt. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that. Got two like extended family members that wanted me to make them African quilt, some kind of African quilt. Well, you can't get more African quilt than that with all those people in there. So June talking about I beat you. I'm tired of my machine today, right? Helen says there are so many models. How do we know which Oliso irons are good? I tend to buy the top of the line on the when I'm as a crafter for any iron that I get. I buy what they're recommending for sewers because they mostly will have a 30-minute auto shut off or no auto shut off. Now, some of the Rowentas don't have any auto shut off. They just stay on. And those were the ones that I was buying. And so you got to remember, I'm sewing all day. So I'm pressing all day. So my iron's on all day. Like I said, I am one to abuse an iron. However, I still want it to last for the price more than 6 months. But I would like a cordless iron to use at the long arm. That's Teresa. That's a good place for it. I've had to use it a time or two. I don't really iron on my long arm too often. If I some people like they'll when you have to spray to get some fullness out, I just go let it dry. I just go sit down somewhere, take a break. I just let it dry, air dry. I'm not gonna do all of that. I almost need to charge when I have to do that because it slows you down. You either got to iron it to keep going, which is you're doing more work, or you need to let it dry, which is wasting time. But I just go sit down. I don't have time for that. I'm just trying to get through the comments. I do know it's after 10. Is that a cordless Panasonic iron? Yes, it is, Rosalind. She says she's getting tired of the cord. I use every cheap one from the Dollar General. That's June, right? Lori says, I've been able to get 12 hanging kitchen towels done while you tried to sew tonight. She says, I think I got your good vibes. Thanks for relinquishing your sewing luck to me for the evening. Ha ha. No problems. I'm glad somebody was successful. Margaret says, T, I was trying to do something important and listen to you, but cannot. Your level of frustration is ridiculous. One of your favorite words. Yep. And I'm not necessarily frustrated. I just know that there's no need in me getting beat up and throwing stuff. I don't ever do that. So it's not that level of frustration. Most people would have walked out of here a long time ago, ended the live. And I just keep moving. I keep it moving. And I'm talking to you all through the whole process of what's going on in my head as I'm ripping, as I'm fixing the sewing machine, because if I don't say anything, it's just dead silence. So you need to know that I'm like calmly trying to figure this stuff out. But you just have one of the you just have one of those days. I accept it. I keep it moving. I don't accept that it's going to happen tomorrow though. That I don't. Uh I'm done sewing for the night. Thank you for the entertainment tonight. Hopefully, everything works on your machine tomorrow. Bye, everyone, from Michelle. Uh, your quilt is gorgeous. Thank you, June and Sharon and Susan and Melina and Miss Topaz. Ooh, I love that border fabric. That is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I like that. I have to look up what that means. I knew what it meant at one point, but I completely forgot. but it was just the right color to go on the quilt. And one that I didn't mind like completely parting with per se. But I do love all the way all three of those quilts came out, because I've got a red one, a blue one, and an orange one. So I do like how they turned out. Love it. Melissa says, "Ooh, that's the absolutely beautiful fabric. Very nice, beautiful. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. I have two that need to be done. That's Carol Green. That is beautiful. Saw the panel on your video. Yep." And then Kim says, "Good night, everyone. Happy quilting this week." So good night, Kim. Helen says, "Thank you, T. You're so welcome." And good night, everyone, from Rosalind, and hugs, T, from June. Yeah. So I have, while my fabric was messed up, I did like clean off a portion of the long arm so I could continue to quilt this. And now my long arm is back, because now I'm putting the fabric back on the shelving. So I've got stuff like that I told you that didn't fit anymore. I've got it still, in three different rooms: the long arm, the kitchen, and the dining table. So I still got some stuff I got to do, but it's better than what it was before. I had 4 containers and fabric stacks everywhere. So everything is off the floor, because I even had to use the floor. I ran out of boxes. So I've got, I'd say, about 90% of the stuff put up. It's a lot. So I think I'm done. I will see you all on Wednesday for just 1 hour chat. That's going to be the drawings for the April blocks. I sort of kind of showed you what the block was earlier this month, but I didn't say that's what it was. I just showed you a block that I had made for my boho heart, and I didn't say anything. I just said I made this block, but I made, I don't know, about 15 or 20 blocks that are not in the pattern this month. So you already know what the block is, so you won't be surprised. You'll just be surprised that it's the block. And we'll have that next Wednesday. I've been getting blocks in all week, so it looks like we're gonna have great support. I didn't win the blocks at my guild yesterday. I was hoping I won, but my friend did win them, so that was pretty funny. Um, yeah. So that's gonna be it, guys. You all stay blessed, be safe, and quilt out, everybody. Have a safe and blessed rest of your weekend. Yay!